Hey guys, it's Yaya and welcome back to my channel. Today I am partnering with Hera Nature to bring you guys some organic African black soap. I will be utilizing it to make a black soap shampoo, a DIY black soap shampoo for the very first time. This African soap is unrefined, is unscented, chemical free, and you can find ingredients like cocoa pod, coconut oil, and shea butter, which are some ingredients that are traditionally found in the black soap that has been used and made in Africa for years. This black soap is cruelty-free, made with 100% natural ingredients. It's vegan and of course fair trade. Check out the description box below where you can find the website for Hera Nature, and then you can read up on that information as well. And they also sell on Amazon, which is very convenient, you guys. Black soap has been known to heal skin irritation. It also has been known to get rid of wrinkles, smooth out the skin, and even the skin tone. Today we want to utilize its cleansing property so we can get rid of dandruff, dry itchy scalp, or oily scalp, remove buildup from products that we use on a daily basis, So we're going to be utilizing this as a clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoos you probably only want to use maybe every other week or so, okay? So what we're going to do today is use just a small portion of the black soap because it is so potent. It's not really recommended to use as is on your skin, okay? So the black soap is very soft. It was very easy for me to cut up small pieces so that I can measure out exactly how much I want it. I just want to use a very small amount because, like I said, it's very potent, okay? So I'm just gonna sliver off a small portion of this black soap and cut it up into small pieces so that when I add the hot water, it will melt more easily, okay, and faster. We're gonna be doing this solution in phases because that's what a shampoo is. It's not an emulsion. We're not gonna be using an emulsifier. We're not going to be forcing oil and water to basically bond together, if you want to say that. So we're going to be doing this formulation in phases, like phase A, phase B, phase C, because they're all going to be blended into one. So I think this is a better way to categorize it so that you can understand the different phases of this solution, okay? So for phase A, we're just adding hot water to the black soap to melt it down so that we can use it in its liquid form. Once you dilute the black soap, you can use it as is, body wash, face wash, shampoo, etc. But I'm going to take this and use it as my phase A in this shampoo formulation, okay? If you use more or make a larger batch, it could take longer to melt down, but this didn't even take a good 15 minutes. It was very, very fast to melt this down, okay? So now I'm going to strain it. You don't have to strain it. It's completely up to you. I just want to get out the pieces that are left over after melting it down. I just use a cheesecloth to strain this, you guys. Once you get the liquid out, that is the complete portion of the phase A. We're going to set this aside so that we can work on the other phases, and then we're going to add everything together, okay? So you'll see in a second. But I wanted to show you the pieces I was talking about because we have thick hair. Most of us have thick hair. You don't want these pieces stuck in your hair or in your hair, okay? If you're just doing a body wash or a facial wash or whatever, it's probably not a big deal. You could just wash it off, but you don't want it to get stuck in your hair. So I think it is a good idea to just strain it if you're making a shampoo or something that's going to go into your hair. Moving on to phase B, we're using vegetable glycerin and then our thickener, which is going to be hydroxyethyl cellulose, or short HEC. I am horrible at pronouncing these names, so I will be saying HEC. I have used this before and I absolutely love it. It's a great thickener. You don't even have to add it into the glycerin to make a slurry, but I'm just doing it just to show you guys a great way to make sure that your thickeners that are powders are incorporated into your distilled water or your water when you're trying to thicken it up, okay? But this one is very easy to blend in with the water and turn into a gel or thickener. So we're going to set that aside for phase B, and we're going to come back to it later, okay? So for phase C, we're going to be using capryl glucoside, another one that is really hard for me to pronounce. This is our solubilizer slash surfactant, which helps the water and oil to basically work together, okay? It reduces the surface tension. It is not an emulsifier, but it's great for adding your fragrance oil. So if you want your shampoo to have a smell, you don't want that essential oil or fragrance oil to sit on top of your water or separate from your shampoo. So you need it to dissolve into something, and that is your solubilizer, and that is what the capryl glucoside is. Okay, so it's very necessary if you want a fragrance. If you don't want a fragrance, you can really just skip phase C altogether. All right, so see how I'm mixing this in right now? If this was oil and water, this would not happen. The oil would just sit on top of the water, okay? So this is dissolving and blending in, and it's gonna help us incorporate this into our final product without the oil separating. It is so necessary to have a solubilizer if you're gonna use a fragrance oil, okay? So moving on to phase D. This is the portion where we're gonna add our different additives like our conditioning agent, our preservative, our different extracts, and hydrolyzed proteins and things of that sort. This phase is also optional, and which ones you decide to use will be completely up to you and your hair needs, okay? The thing that is not optional, of course, is the preservative. You have to have a preservative. What I love about the preservative that I'm using is that it works great for any product that has a higher pH level. This is very important when you're using soaps, okay? And I will explain that later on when we talk about pH later on in this video. All right, once you've added all the ingredients you want for phase D, just make sure you blend them up really well and set it to the side. We're going to come back to it once we add all the phases together. Right now, we're going to move on to phase E. We'll be adding witch hazel, which is really good for getting rid of dandruff and healing the scalp. And then we're also adding panthenol, which is also vitamin B5, which is really great with giving the product slip and also giving some conditioning properties. And another really good cleansing agent we'll be adding is cocoa betaine. I said cocoa for short because it's very hard for me to pronounce this word, but it's just a very gentle cleanser. This is also going to help make the other cleanser, which is our black soap, a little milder. So for anybody who has maybe a little irritation to black soap, this gentle cleanser will make it just a little bit more mild, and then it will add a little extra foam and some great lather to your shampoo. So I think it's a great ingredient to add. I really would give it a try, you guys, okay? So this is it. We have all of our phases complete, and now for the fun part, which is adding them all together. This is the easy part. This is the easy part. Once you have all your phases, the only thing you have to do is add them together. I really don't think there's any specific way you have to do it, but this is the way I did mine. I added phase C into phase A first. What I did notice is that it did allow for the black soap to have a little bit more of that detergent like feel to it, so it was kind of actually cool. I was like, do I even need to add the distilled water at this point? But of course I did, because I wanted to make sure that the black soap was diluted properly for this shampoo. I also wanted to add my other enhanced ingredients as far as the extracts, and of course my thickener to give it that real shampoo feel to it and give it a lot of slip and just make it a lot easier to put in your hair. If you leave it just as the black soap will be really watery, and it could get really messy in the shower. You know, when you're trying to put this shampoo in your hair, you have to use a specific type of bottle in order to make sure it goes directly to your scalp and not all over the place. This way it will be thicker, and you can put it into a squeeze bottle, and then it'd be a lot easier for you to put it in your hand and put it into your hair without it going all over the place. So it just be a lot easier. But honestly, it's all about preference, so do whatever works best for you. So I'm going to go ahead and add in phase D and mix that in very well, and then I'm going to add in the final phase B, but I'm going to add it into phase E. And the reason being is because this is our thickener, and it needs water in order to hydrate, to give it that jelly-like consistency, that thick consistency that we want in our shampoo, okay? So phase B is going into phase E in order to hydrate the HEC so that we can have a thick, beautiful shampoo, okay? Be careful when you're mixing it together. It will foam up, but you don't want too much foam because it'll take forever for it to settle back down. But yeah, once that's well blended, then you can add in phase A and all the other phases into this final phase, and then you have your shampoo. It is very easy. The only hard part is making sure your separate phases are together and organized. That way, when later on, when you combine them all together to create this homogeneous solution, then you could just combine them easily. But without that initial organization of the phases, it'd be a lot harder and confusing to get your shampoo together, especially if you have a lot of ingredients like I did, okay? But this is it, guys. What do you think about this? Look how nice it is. It's so thick already. So what we're going to do is let this settle down. We're going to cover it up and let it settle down so all the foam can get out of it, and also so that it can reach its final viscosity. Now, it's not done reaching its final viscosity, but I wanted to go ahead and take a small portion and show you guys about the pH first. I wasn't going to measure the pH for it, but a lot of times people want to balance their pH when it comes to products for the effectiveness of your preservative. But the preservative I have, it has a wide range, I think between like 3 and 12. So it doesn't really matter the pH of it. It's going to work effectively in any pH level. But this is a soap. Soap has a very high pH level. It needs a high pH level in order to be considered a soap, because the process in which the oils and the butters or whatever are made into soap needs to have a high pH. And I wanted to show you guys that. So if you try to balance this shampoo, it's going to turn into a gooey, foamy mess. Trust me, I tried it, okay? Because I wanted to really balance this for you guys to see if I could do it, but it's just going to break down the black soap and you're going to have a gooey mess. So I don't recommend pH balancing this shampoo. If you're somebody who's sensitive to high pH levels, then, you know, maybe not use it less often or avoid it. But if you're somebody who has oily skin or high sebum production levels like I do, or irritation like that, I think the shampoo is perfectly fine for you. Just make sure you're using something afterwards to return your pH level back to its normal stance and close your cuticle layers that may have opened during that process of shampooing, okay? Please keep in mind that this is a clarifying shampoo, so we need this strength of this black soap to strip those excessive oils and buildup from products from my hair. And you might want to use this every other week, maybe once a month, you know. But a clarifying shampoo I think is so important. You don't want to just condition. You want to clarify, and then after you clarify, use a deep conditioner to restore your hair back to its natural balance. And that's it, you guys. I let this sit overnight. I think actually a little bit over a day. I let this sit to settle down, and the viscosity is perfect, especially that top layer. The bottom layer is still a little thick. You can let it settle some more, but I wanted to go ahead and bottle this up for you guys and just show you how it looks. And I absolutely love how it came out. I'm very happy with it, especially being that it's my, you know, first official shampoo that I think I've ever made, and the fact that I was able to incorporate the African black soap into this shampoo, I think was awesome. So I'm gonna give myself a little pat on the shoulder for doing this, you guys. I definitely would like to tweak it some more. I definitely would like to make other shampoos as well, and those shampoos I will do where I'm able to actually do a pH balance, but like I said, if you want a shampoo where you're able to balance the pH, you do not want soap in it, okay? This is a clarifying shampoo, so let's do it, okay? So I'm just gonna put it into a container. You guys know most of the time I'm using glass. I have used plastic in the past, which I don't see anything wrong with it, depending on which product that you're using. Make sure that it's BPA free and make sure that you recycle, okay? But because this is a shampoo, I want to be able to squeeze this and let the product come out while I'm in the shower. And I also want to make sure that when I'm in the shower, if it accidentally falls out my hand, that there's not glass shattered everywhere, okay? So I think it's important to have a safe container for shampoo or products that will be in the shower. I just did a quick thermal label for this shampoo. If you guys want to see that video, you can see how I made the thermal label for the shampoo. And then of course I want to check the consistency of it and see if it can come out of the bottle and how it comes out of the bottle. And I think it came out really great. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing what you guys think. And then I'm just going to rub it up in my hand so that you can see initially the lather and the foam that comes out of this. It is so rich and creamy, you guys. It feels very moisturizing. You would think it wouldn't be too stripping, but I did use this in my hair, and once you get done, you do get that squeaky clean feel. But immediately after conditioning and putting in my other moisturizing products, my hair returned almost immediately back to its state, and it felt so clean It felt so clean. I absolutely love this, you guys. I even use it as a face wash and also as a body cleanser as well. It really works well. So yeah, you guys, check out Hera Nature down below. Check out their website and their Amazon website as well. If you would like to check out this black soap, or if you would like to try this recipe, the ingredients and measurements are down in the description box below. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, because it's the only way you'll be able to keep up with the videos that I'm coming out with, and I have a lot more coming for you guys. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and all that good stuff, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.